Hello there. Welcome back to my podcast for another episode that I do every Sunday. So this is episode 23 of Talk with Rebus podcast. So this one's going to be probably not a long one. So I hope everyone is enjoying their morning, afternoon, evening, or night whenever you're watching this, not listening to this. And let's just get into it. So, my top secrets that most people don't know. So, let's keep listening, listen to the end, and thank you so much for listening. So the first one is I broke my jaw and some teeth when I was only 7 or 8. Don't know the exact age I was, but I could vividly remember doing this. So, really bad. So, it was because I got scared of something that I saw and felt trapped. So, I'm gonna explain it more deeper to let you understand it more. So, this was after my mom's birthday. So, she had a birthday. So, this was like in May. And this was the day after her birthday. I got scared because I was sleeping in my sister's room at the time. The night before, my mum had like quite a crazy party. Like there was people over, like drinking. I don't really quite remember what happened there, but I remember it was loud. There was music, and then the day after, I kind of peeked through the door hole, the door hole thing, or like I opened a little bit of the door, and I saw that the whole kitchen was actually like trashed. There was like blood on the floor, okay? Um, the kitchen table was like flipped over. I don't know what happened, but I vividly remember this. And then I got so spooked because I didn't know where my mom was. I don't know like who's in the house or whatever. So I got so spooked. Like imagine like a 7-year-old or 8-year-old seeing that. So I got spooked. I closed the door and then I stayed there. I didn't have a phone back then. I didn't have a phone. There was no clock in that room. So I don't know. I didn't know what time it was or anything. So I just stayed in that room. I woke up. It was probably the morning, but I woke up and saw that, and then I just stayed in that room, being so. I remember being so bored, out of my mind. So I was like reading my sister's like textbooks from school. I remember. Um, I don't know, like looking at like food magazines, like reading some kind of like book or whatever. Um, I don't know. I just wanted the time to pass, and I don't know why, but yeah. And then later on, I opened the window and I heard some kids outside. So I wanted to play with them really badly, but I was scared to leave through the door. Don't know why. I was just scared to leave the door. So I decided to jump out of the window. I decided to jump out the window. Such a stupid mistake. Like it's. Do I regret this? Not really, but anyway. But yeah, I jumped out the window, fell like on my chin, and then broke it. Like I don't know like how I fell, but I like fell like I don't know. It hit my chin, the concrete, and then it wasn't a high fall. It was like a second story. So I fell. It was in like a neighbor yard. It was like there was no one living there, but there was like a fence around it, and there was some bins that I fell in that area. So I fell on purpose, not on accident, and then because I was scared, and then I broke. I remember like like I think I blacked out a bit, and then I remember like blood on the floor, some teeth, and I was in like pain. I was crying, and then I got up. I went out of the little thing, and then the neighbor kids saw me, then told their parents, and the parents came over and brought me back to my house. And then my mum, I think she was sleeping. She woke up and then she saw me, and then hospital, got stitches, and I have a scar now on my jaw. It's really noticeable. But yeah, that's what happened. Quite a long story, but I had to break it down. Second one is my second secret is my dad left when I was a toddler because of drinking. So I only had my mum for my whole life. So yeah, not a lot of people know this, but my mum was a single mum when she had me, and yeah, she was just a single mum. I've been always with her. My dad was never in the picture, and that's how it was because of his drinking. He was an alcoholic. So yeah, that's a short little secret. And then third, when I was 11, I made silly videos on YouTube, and I actually posted them. Quite embarrassing, to be honest. But it's quite embarrassing, quite funny, and at the same time, really nice because I could look back on like how I was, and kind of interesting. Yeah. But they're always going to be on there because I forgot the password to the account, so I can't really delete it or whatever. So it's always going to be on YouTube. So yeah, silly videos. I had like 3 accounts. It was Revis Grishkovets, the first one. I made like 3 videos. And then I had Cool Revis. I made a bunch of videos. And then I had the third one was Gaming with Revis. That was the last one. And then I have my account, which is now just my full name. And yeah. Number 4 secret is I was an early baby. So I was born very early, like 1 month early, not too early, but like 1 month early. And the cord was around my neck when I was coming out. So yeah, the cord was around my neck. I almost died, and that is quite scary to me, to be honest. Because yeah. So yeah, little short secret, not much to explain. And then number 5, I never had true real friends. Maybe one now I have, but in my teen years, they have always been rude, very sarcastic, and not trustworthy in my experience. So yeah, I had I don't know if you could call them friends, but we did hang out a bit in school and a little bit after school, but I feel like they weren't actually true, real friends. Because they were always picking on me, bullying, very sarcastic, sometimes rude, but sometimes they would have been good, but I don't think they were true. But right now, I have one that is really good, and I'm lucky to have. So there you go. But yeah, teen years, I didn't have many friends, but yeah. And now I just have one true one. And I feel like you shouldn't have like a huge group of friends. I think it's quite toxic, and I feel like you would have like arguments all the time, and disagree, agree, and it's not good to have group so yeah. Last secret that I'm gonna tell you is number 6. When I was 12, okay, this one's a quite crazy one. Um, so it's fine. I was very young, I was immature, I was crazy, and I don't know what I was thinking. But when I was 12, I pretended to be a boy from my school. So I went to Kalibaki, so this was like year 8, year 9 maybe. 12 or 13, I don't remember. But I pretended to be a boy from my school. He was like a year older or two, and I texted one girl that I was friends with, and she was in my class. Like we used to like video call each other a lot on Messenger. I remember back then and all that. And I don't know why I decided to do this, but it was like kind of like catfishing. I was saying weird stuff and saying I liked her. And to be fair, I did have a crush on her back then. But yeah. Um yeah, it was kind of like a catfishing thing. I don't know why I did that, but I just like pretended to be like it was like on Instagram, I think. I made a fake like picture of this guy and I texted her, or like it was like a fake like phone number app. I don't know what I was doing. Um I don't know. I think I just wanted attention. I was bored. And yeah, you do some silly things when you're a kid, right? Yeah, so that's all my secrets. I hope you enjoyed. I liked to share them with you, and I like this podcast because I could share whatever I want, and I like to do it. So I hope you enjoyed. Have a lovely day, whatever you're doing, and I'll see you then next Sunday for another episode. Please leave a like, follow me, vote on the poll. Which topic should I do next? And yeah, thank you so much. Share the podcast with people, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.